JP Morgan, for some reason, settled this case. So if you owned gold and silver and made the same argument that Daniel Shack did, would you be able to get a settlement? Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics. Welcome on into the show as we recap the week in gold and silver. Quite a fascinating week of life it was. As you can see, I've got a great new backdrop there. This might be my favorite one yet. Every time I see that picture, it makes me smile. So I hope it's doing the same for you. And I sure appreciate you being here today. And we're going to talk about some of the options. Certainly, if you are a gold and silver investor and you're seeing that JP Morgan got fined $920 million, several of the other investment banks have also been fined. We're going to look at some of the options if you feel that you have losses stemming from bank manipulation of the gold and silver markets. So we'll dig into that. First, a quick look. Here's where we closed the week. You see quite a big day on Thursday, really shooting up there and closing right at 1952. In silver, even on Friday, another big day. Not as big as the day before, but still up 21 cents. So nice to see that the silver price is up. Especially on Thursday, and rather than coming back in quite a bit on Friday, 21 cents higher. So above $25. And when you think about it, gee, it was back in July, which is the 7th month of the year. Wow, now we're in November. But 4 months ago, silver was at $18, had sat there for about 4 years, and went up to 29, down to 22, had all of the moves back and forth. And yet here we are, over $25.50 at the close on Friday. No, no word in our near future about who is the president. And at least based on the commentary, you know, again, I'm going to learn to stick to my area of expertise here. So like to think is silver. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It seems, at least from what I'm seeing and the comments I'm hearing, that there's no end in sight. Fortunately, one of my favorite things about silver and thinking about silver is that you don't really have to care all that much. And by all means, if there are other parts of either candidate that are important to you, go for it. But either way, in terms of what we'll be talking about going forward in silver, I mean, both these, the Fed's what really matters, and both candidates, neither of them are going to step in the middle and say, hey, we're going to make sure the Fed doesn't print anymore. So anyway, I hope that more than anything, you just don't let it get you down too much, because I think there's a lot of negative attention focused there. So, but fortunately, I think we'll have some good news today. Because as you can see here, I actually have several stories pulled up about JP Morgan. Was doing a little research this week, just trying to round up some information. My understanding, and one of the things I'm excited to record this video, I have one legal friend I'm passing this along to. If any of you are lawyers out there or know a lawyer, and you can send this along and see what they think, but first of all, my understanding would be that the fact that JP Morgan has paid the fine for manipulating the markets, whether spoofing is really what's at the heart of it or not, you know, changes things from a legal standpoint, where maybe we had the greatest evidence ever that the bank was doing this or that, but the fact that a court of or Department of Justice, I guess, I don't know if you would say a court of law. I don't think there was a trial, but in either case, they've paid, they've admitted or settled. My understanding is that that makes at least more plausible that you could recoup something. So that, I think, is good news. Here you have JP Morgan settles lawsuit, So they settled. And here's, well, this is a lawsuit by hedge fund manager Daniel Shack and two other commodity traders said that JP Morgan manipulating the silver markets cost their plaintiffs $30 million. So I have not been able to find any public records. I will check with my legal expert if there's a way to see exactly what they were accused of, what they settled for. Doesn't mention that in this article. Let's see. But does say that they settled. 3 plaintiffs had accused JP Morgan of manipulating the silver futures markets from 2010 through 2011 through spoofing trades. They claim that they lost tens of millions of dollars. The bank for years denied the allegations, and in 2016 succeeded in getting the plaintiffs' claims dismissed by a judge. Covell, I believe their lawyer, then appealed that decision, got the case reopened in 2017. So lesson to you kids at home, don't give up. Keep trying. Yeah. Sometimes things change, and just because the answer might be no right now does not mean the answer will not be no going forward, which appears to be the case here. And let's see. Then we had in 2018, John Edmonds, I believe we're around that 2-year anniversary. Yep, November 2018. And admitted, along with other unnamed co-conspirators, co-conspirators. Wait a second. John Edmonds, former JP Morgan trader, and other unnamed co-conspirators. So if I'm a conspiracy theorist, or I'm told I am, does that mean I was correct in saying there was a conspiracy? I mean, it's not like you need me to say it, obviously, for anyone who chose to read the Deutsche Bank trader transcripts that were released back in 2016 when they were caught not only manipulating the price, but actually bragging about it. Obviously, this doesn't come as new news here, but manipulated the prices of gold, silver, platinum. Now, there's the gray area. Spoofing, manipulated. I have my own little cadre of evidence. I guess my first question would be, is there a way to get access to what specifically Daniel Shack and his lawyers said happened and that the bank was willing to settle for? So also would raise the question that the bank was willing to settle, if it's possible to find out exactly for what would be good, but to the degree that, you know, and I don't know, I used to always look at things by the book, but sometimes whether you have something that would convict something in court, yet to the degree that there is a public court of opinion, maybe, at least here, we don't know. I don't know. If anybody out there does know, please comment and let me know. You can email me through the Arcadia at chris@arcadiaeconomics.com. You know, it's hard to say without knowing, and I will continue to see if any of this is public and can get. But at the end of the day, JP Morgan, for some reason, settled this case. So if you owned gold and silver and made the same argument that Daniel Shack did, would you be able to get a settlement? Questions, some of which will require further investigation, but anyway, just organizing some thoughts here. Although Shack's lawsuit has been settled, JP Morgan still faces a class action lawsuit related to alleged spoofing in the precious metals markets. I actually did join a class action suit a few years ago, and I submitted a bunch of claims. It never really went anywhere, and I don't know. I just picked dates that, especially this was around when the Deutsche Bank transcripts came out. So I was thinking, all right, do you count, let's see, do you count what happened on April 30th of 2011? I don't know. Is that a spoof? So let's take a look at, actually, we'll go to the May 1st, 2011 chart. What a day that changed my own career and life. Wow, I still remember it like it was yesterday. I don't know, in Daniel Shack's case, did he count this as a spoof. This is they said 2010 to 2011. So what was it that they alleged that basically got JP Morgan to settle? So I don't know. I mean, maybe if you want to find some way to make sure JP Morgan executives who committed a crime have jail time, I don't know how likely that is. I mean, there's what might be right or wrong or fair or not yet. I will leave that to someone else. But to the degree that I think a lot of people that watch this channel, myself, this is how it all got started for me as well, because I just thought, gee, that was stuff that, you know, again, having a trading background, being on a trading floor and seeing this, you know, which led to today where, you know, whether people call it suppression, manipulation, spoofing, my core thesis is that if you're trading based on silver, the commodity, and what you think supply and demand is going to do there, it is not going to match up with that COMEX price in any sort of rational manner. So I don't know if the Department of Justice really uncovered what I would think is at the heart of it, which I'd love someone to explain when you see the massive volume spikes that often drive the price lower. Oh, there was one other thing in here that I thought was kind of interesting. Let us scroll back up. JP Morgan has quietly settled a long-running lawsuit. I'm guessing that just like the none of the presidential candidates had much comment on the debt or deficit reduction plans, I'm guessing Jamie Dimon didn't announce this settlement here. Interesting, there, to my knowledge, has been no comment from the bank about this at all. But let's bear with me here. Oh, yeah, here. The bank for years denied the allegations, and in 2016 succeeded in getting the plaintiff's case claims dismissed by the judge. So, again, all right, so they denied it. Now they pled guilt. They settled, to be accurate. So again, it's, I don't know. So whatever the bank says now, is that what really happened, or is it not what really happened? I guess that is the type of question that gets raised when, you know, you have a track record for certain things, because they say they denied it, and here it is. They just paid $920 million. So then here's a story. Federal judge tells traders they can combine cases accusing JP Morgan of rigging metals markets. These are by Dawn Giel, by the way, who I've talked to. I'll probably check in with her again. I tried to get her on the show. No luck yet, but she's been covering the case for CNBC. And here are a group of traders who allege JP Morgan manipulated the markets are one step closer. A federal judge said 5 separate lawsuits making similar allegations could be combined, potentially including thousands of people who traded from 2009 to 2015. I'm guessing is you out there watching at home. Litigation was put on hold. It's been put on hold several times. Here's Judge John, how do you pronounce that one? Coltol of Southern District. Appointed the White Plains firm Lowy Dannenberg, which, as you see, here is Vincent Briganti, who I emailed their firm once. You know, they were like not impressed with this guy who thinks silver's rigged. But although interestingly, I got a message from a friend of mine who is part of Vincent's suit. So at least I don't know that. I mean, certainly I'm going to, if they want to come on the show, would be fantastic. But at least hopefully we'll be able to get in contact with someone from Lowy Dannenberg. Perhaps some of you are already involved in that suit. I will let you know as I find out more, but basically Lowy Dannenberg and Vincent Briganti are the names that you will see popping up. And again, there's John Edmonds. I might add, in his guilty plea, admitted that he and other unnamed co-conspirators, again, fraudulently manipulated the precious metals markets while they were employed. this is what stood out to me from the very beginning. Said he had learned the illegal trading tactics from senior traders and then used them hundreds of times with the knowledge of and consent of his immediate supervisors. So it wasn't, all of the confessions had that same clause in there, at least suggesting that this was, and I don't think it was the case, that it was not just some one-off rogue employee. So, and this was interesting. On Wednesday, lawyer, again, this is last year, lawyers sent a letter to the judge saying they were having difficulty locating Edmonds to serve him legal papers. Not sure how that played out, but again, hope the guy's okay. I mean, the whole thing is sad and unfortunate, and I don't know. I mean, I try and make the show entertaining and funny and tell jokes, so it's not, you know, hey, we're gonna be shooting each other in the streets, apocalypse. So I'm never meaning to belittle this, and I don't know. It just all seems unfortunate, and I hope that comes across. And with that said, we'll move on, because here's one other one. I mentioned this the other day on the show. Again, not funny, but another interesting, shall we say. Former JP Morgan executive Robert Gottlieb, who now works for Koch Industries, is described in the lawsuit as controlling the decision-making for JP Morgan silver positions, took the primary role in trading JP Morgan silver spreads. I'm not sure. I remember Bart Chilton mentioned that when Bear failed, that the head trader at Bear came over to JP Morgan. I'm not sure if that's him. Maybe I'll check it out on LinkedIn, see what I can find. Know that it matters, but either case, I could not imagine what it would be like to talk with Robert. Did not respond to requests for comments. I'd be happy to invite him on the show. I'm guessing that's probably not on his list of things to do. But here, what's interesting, lawyers for plaintiffs in the civil lawsuit have questioned Gottlieb under oath, and also JP Morgan's former global commodities chief, Blythe Masters, and more than a half dozen other current and former employees at the bank. Court filings indicate, man, I would pay a couple ounces of silver to read what is on that questioning. I don't know what you call that document, but anyway, that's again, any lawyers out there, or I will ask my legal consultant any of this stuff. There's part of me that thinks that it's almost too good to be true that you could get access to these things, but I wonder, and I talked with someone today who said, is it possible that, while the net effect is that the price of silver is lower than I think it would be without the COMEX, that could this all be happening without someone at JP Morgan saying on some level, like, hey, we're going to hammer the price so we can, interesting to think about. Who knows? Seems like there's enough that it's hard to imagine somebody somewhere does not, I don't know, but it would be fascinating to see what is on those documents. Few last notes before we wrap up here. You also have Bronstein, Gewirtz, and Grossman notifies JP Morgan investors of class action and lead plaintiff deadline December 23rd, 2020. So this just came out in the last week or so. Have notified investors a class action lawsuit has been filed against JP Morgan. Such are encouraged to join this case by visiting the firm's site. I will put that address in the description field below. Interesting, amongst other things, they mentioned the company provided misleading information to CFTC investigators at early stages of the investigation into the misconduct. Again, raising that concept, I don't know where that leaves things legally, but at least there's a track record of, I would think you could at least substantiate that just because the defendant says something does not necessarily mean that it's accurate. So again, hopefully there's some legal expert out there that can comment to a more intelligent degree. As we wrap up, Fed says virus poses considerable risks, maintains low rate pledges. Officials didn't announce new policy at the conclusion of their 2-day meeting. You know, in the end, I don't know when the package will come, but, you know, you can read through that. Everything they say is get ready for more money printing. Oh, and we did have actually one other link. I'll put this one in the description below. All the other ones, if you Google Don Giel and JP Morgan, Giel, I believe it is, you can find those CNBC articles. But here was another one, JP Morgan facing investor suit following historic spoofing fine. This is by, what is the name? Haute Lawyer, as you can see up here. Again, description link in the description field below. So deadline to move the court and serve in the suit is December 23rd. So again, that other article mentioned 5 suits being combined. I've heard of some of them. There are some I'm not familiar with. But anyway, hopefully this is a little bit helpful in giving you a few leads. These 2 links in the description field below. Lastly, you see it was another nice day for these silver stocks. Look at all that green there. Good stuff. First Majestic up another 15 cents. Is that, yeah, there we go. Silver Viper, my friend Steve Cope, who joined us at Silverfest. Looks like a nice day there, up 8%. Silver Elephant up 8% as well. And good news, I've been talking and meeting a lot of these silver companies. My goal, what I really always imagined would be great, Arcadia as the model, is basically make it like a silver haven, talking about silver, the commodity, also bringing information about the silver stocks, and really just bringing you access. Again, I share what I think and feel and promise that will always be honest and genuine. There's also the degree, I'm not David Morgan. I'm not not Brent Cook, so I'm learning that. But I do make sure and vet any of the companies that come on. And if there was ever a company that came on and did not accurately communicate honest information, not only would they not be invited back, but certainly I would come back on here and let you know that, B, apologize, because it's very important to me that you're getting good information. And I don't have a crystal ball, but at least that's how I look at it. So just wanted to pass that along. And there's Reina Silver up 5%. I mean, I guess these are the penny stocks, so you get a couple penny move, but good to see people logging into Silverland. Lastly, if I know some people haven't been getting as many of the updates lately, if you'd like to sign up at the homepage of arcadiaeconomics.com, you can get these videos directly delivered into your inbox. If that makes it easier, then that's how you do that. So with that said, I hope this one was helpful. I will keep you posted. Again, if you hit the subscribe button and notification bell, that helps too. But certainly that's why I got into this, where I thought there was just something unnatural. I've lost plenty of money to this over the years, but I think the people who saw what was happening made a bet on gold and silver. I don't think you were wrong. I think that whether it's spoofing or whatever you call it, that, you know, there was a felony, and I will continue to share any information, shed light on that. And with that said, as we wrap up, if you'd like any coverage of what's going on the physical level of the silver market, well, here is Andy Scheckman's update coming your way right now.